Maybe you think the Dodgers need to reevaluate and just like, cause this thing they do where it's like the pitcher goes like 4 innings, and it's like no matter what, you're out, and throw in like 6 guys from the bullpen. It just doesn't work in the playoffs.
So I saw today the Dodgers have already committed to Dave Roberts being back next year. I saw a statistic from my pal Tony Maz yesterday on Twitter. And he said, Dave Roberts. Well, all right, let me ask you guys. Take out the 2020 World Series run. The Dodgers have still had a lot of postseason success with Dave Roberts at the helm. What would you say his managerial record is in the postseason if you take out 2020?
20 and 27.
I was
You
going
think
to say
he's 7 games under 500?
Yeah, he is.
I was going to ask if it's sub 500.
It's not. It's 1 game above 500. He's 32 and 31 in the postseason if you don't include 2020. So overall, 45 and 36, 32 and 31 without 2020.
Look, he's had some, well, I don't want to say some. He's been there while Clayton Kershaw has gone through his trials and tribulations of the postseason. Why would Dave Roberts not be the guy to lead this group next year?
Yes.
I'm not advocating for him to be fired.
I feel like all this shit Dave Roberts gets is about like bullpen usage and when they're taking out starters and who they're putting in, and that's just not his decision at all. I'm assuming the Dodgers, who have like a trillion analytic guys, have a fucking calculator.
Same thing
that
that talked about in like Joe Madden's book.
Yeah. Fucking, if he gets fired, we got another book at least.
Yeah. Yeah. That's probably why. That's probably why it's like it's so quick. They didn't even have a conversation about bringing him back.
No. Like, you got to understand, and this isn't a knock on any of these baseball men, right? And that's who Dave Roberts is. He's a baseball man. He knows the fucking game like the back of his hand. And you'd like to think you could trust him making baseball decisions. Well, you can. The team, the organization, they go about things differently. And that's how it goes for a lot of the organizations across baseball. That's why Joe Madden said what he said. And it's crazy that that people almost look at like what Joe has said and kind of like, oh yeah, but really? Like, to that extent, I don't know. Like, is it that bad? Is it? Yes, the answer is yes. So that's why I always say, who would you replace them with? Anytime that kind of conversation comes up, because you got to consider the relationship the manager has with the front office and the relationship the manager has with all of the other departments and the folks that are going to be helping along the way.
Yeah.
Well, Padres are on to the National League Championship Series.
I'm excited for this series. I don't give a fuck if the Padres were 20-something games out and the Phillies were the number 6 seed, wild card team, whatever. They were 22 and 27 when they fired Joe Girardi. Like, I love this Phillies team. By the way, we're going to Philly this weekend.
Hey-o.
Going to Philly this weekend. And we might pivot to New York, depending on what happens in the ALCS. We could be there in Philly the whole weekend, or we might be in. I don't know. I don't know if we're in New York or not.
Tony, San Diego's going to be fucking popping.
Yeah. I mean, I think, Lauren Gardner was on LB Network earlier being like, I just landed here and you can already like feel like the buzz in the city, which is the whole thing about Fernando Tatis Jr. I remember in 2020, when the Padres clinched the playoff spot and everyone was still freaking out about COVID. and this dude goes out into the players' parking lot, and there's just a parade going on just for clinching a playoff spot. And a sea of people, they're going bananas. Like San Diego goes hard for the Padres. So I'm assuming it like that energy is going to be like we've kind of got like a series of the two most unruly environments to play in the National League, Philly and San Diego. Like those are two loud ass fucking ballparks. So I think this year, like that's why I'm excited for it. Like I get excited. I don't care about what your fucking record was. I get excited for star power. This series gives you that. And I care about ballpark environment. Two awesome ballparks, two awesome fan bases that bring it energy wise. Like that's what I want. Like I want, like when something
support the Stars, the fans are going to start those rallies.
When something important happens in those games, the baseball IQ in the stands is going to be high. So when something important happens, the roar. Like I'm addicted to the roar of the crowd in a playoff game. And you're going to get that home and away in this NLCS.
Be a lot of towels flying out there.
A lot of towels.
That much.
A lot of towels. Are we looking forward on these two series here? Are we predicting?
I
these?
mean, I feel like we didn't really say a whole lot about the Dodgers.
What do we say about the Dodgers?
Blow it up.
What do you want?
Blow it up.
Blow it up.
Joey just doesn't want. He just wants to.
They stink.
Weaken the competition. It's another empire he doesn't have to worry
Well,
about.
Bellinger's gone after this year. How are they going to rebound?
Oh, man. What are they going to do without him?
He's got one more year.
Really? What? Whoa.
Yeah, he's going into his last year of ARB.
Let's go. We're back.
Yeah, he's back. What do you do if you're the Dodgers? Like you just run it back, right? It's not like you won 111 games. It's not like you lose in the division series. You're like, oh, what was our weakness? We got to improve here, and there. Like, of course, you have to improve every year going into the next year. But I think if you're the Dodgers front office, you have to look at this and be like, well, we definitely built a winning club, and we just didn't get the winning lottery ticket. Like that's really it.
We were a team that set organizational record for wins in a season, and we also went into the most important time of the season without our ace. That kind of matters too. So yeah, it's not a complete reevaluation. Who are we? Identity crisis type deal. It's all right, that was really good. Didn't work out. Not happy about that, but no reason to think about completely changing dynamics. Because for the same reason that all these other clubs that weren't supposed to be there are here, what about what they have done? Would they change in retrospect? Because they might have answers telling you, we'd like to have seen this and that and this happen, but all that goes away once you find yourself in the postseason.
I mean, what are they going to do? Sign Aaron Judge?
Yeah.
What?
They probably fucking will, man.
Like so this is a team, and I know that people don't like bringing up this name, but this is a team that won the World Series and then made Trevor Bauer the highest paid pitcher in fucking baseball. Like they're just never satisfied. They win the World Series and they trade for Max Scherzer and Trey Turner.
That. Just 30-second timeout. The human being aside, if they had someone producing at the clip that Bauer is capable of producing, and a healthy Walker Buehler,
like that. Like that's why you can just sit there and be like, yeah, run it back. Like it. Like if we play, they probably have some sort of computer generated simulator that is like, if we have this exact same roster and we simulate the playoffs 100 times, we win the World Series 67 times. There are algorithms that would spit out us losing in the division series. That comes out 8 times. Well, guess what? One of those 8 times happened. Like, that's all it is. Like, that roster is World Series domination ready, but Like
Yeah.
you just can't factor in you can't account for the human element. And like, that's why it's fucking awesome. That's why baseball is the best.